Well, this is it for another year. It's the last Cheltenham Ante-Post Forum. It's amazing how time flies. Well, this one is best of the rest. Nick Watts and Graham Rodway going to come up with something perhaps a little bit left of field, something in the handicaps, something in the cross-country, who knows. Here to tell all, Nick, can you give me your 3 best of the rest bets for the Cheltenham Festival?
Yeah, we're going to start off with Boston's Angel in the cross-country chase. I mean, most people will be going for a pint when that's been running, probably, but it's a race I've always liked. Boston's Angel does bring a bit of class to proceedings. I think he's a 3-time Grade 1 winner. That was a couple of seasons ago, and he went downhill since then. Seems to be reinvigorated by going over the banks. He's run well twice earlier on in the season. Finished second behind Arabella Boys, one of the market leaders for this, then second behind Outlaw Pete at Cheltenham's December meeting. Much better off at the weights now with Outlaw Pete. Disappointing at Punchestown last time, but I think that heavy ground might have had something to do with that. I think on better ground at Cheltenham, he's got a great shout. Good reports from the Harrington team that he's going well. And, you know, great that he seems to have refound his joy of the game, his love of the game through these banks races. So brings a bit of class. He's 10 to 1. Anything on like good to soft ground, I think, would be absolutely perfect for him. And I can't see him finishing out the frame.
Very interesting. And rolling on to the Wednesday, you've got one lined up for the Coral Cup.
Yeah, a Dayme of Tony Martin's. I think most people probably who watched his last run would have noticed that he was quite eye-catching. Ridden by a guy, Shane Shortall, I've never quite heard of before or since. And the Dayme ran a very eye-catching race in that. He finished 6th on the heels of the leaders. Good handicap won by Tennis Cap. That came on the back of a win at Dundalk on the flat. He was second by Una Artiste in the Fred Winter last season. Brings good course form. Don't know quite what happened in between times. He was a bit disappointing, but again, I think he's one of these horses that hasn't been flourishing on the heavy ground. I think a bit of spring weather, spring ground will help him. And the longer trip will help him as well, I think. He's very stoutly bred. He comes from one of the Aga Khan's best families, related to Enzeli. Good flat horses like that. I think 2 miles 5 will suit him. The other thing with this race at the moment, I'm getting whispers that Wonderful Charm might be running in the World Hurdle, which means obviously he's market leader for the Coral Cup at the moment. That comes out. Cotton Mill is the 3rd favourite, I think, at the moment. Looks like he's going to go for the county hurdle.
Market could collapse. Yeah.
Market could collapse. Take the 10 to 1 about a Dayme now. It might be single figures in a few days' time.
I'm assuming you don't think that Shane Shortall is going to be on board?
Yeah, I'd be surprised if Shane Shortall was on board. I'm sure he's a very good horseman. I have to confess, I don't know a huge amount about him. Yeah, I'd be surprised if he was on again.
That Dayme must be one of the most obvious plots of the whole festival. I think he caught everyone's eye last time out at Leopardstown. Everyone's going to be piling on, aren't they?
Well,
get on now then. Get on now.
Yeah, these things can sometimes be too good to be true, can't they? But I mean, yeah, if we spotted it, it happened, didn't it? And
yep.
So,
moving on to Thursday.
Yeah, got one more. He might not be for everyone. Walkon in the Burn Group Plate, because people might think he's becoming a bit exposed, and there might be some younger horses, better horses than him coming through the ranks. But tend to look at it the other way, in that his form pre-Christmas in those 2 big handicap chases at Cheltenham, I like the fact that he's been in there and flourished in them, because I think handicaps at Cheltenham are very difficult to win. They're obviously in big fields, there's loads of horses, there's loads of scrimmaging. The fact that he's handled that before and handled it well is a big plus for me. And I think from handicapping perspective, he's not out of this. He was off 1-4-3 when he finished second to Alpha Off in the Paddy Power, and then the following month he'd gone up £5 and finished second to Union East. They might have been 2 of the most progressive horses in training. We don't know with Alpha Off, obviously, because we haven't seen him since. But Union East, again, came out and won at Newbury. He was off a very light weight there, and Walkon had to give him lumps of weight. So I don't think the 2 performances were that bad at all. Ignore the P last time, because King gave him a spin over hurdles in the Cleve. That didn't really work out. Don't know why he did that. But if you go back to that pre-Christmas form, I think Walkon about 12 to 1 for the Burn Group Plate. I think he's absolutely guaranteed to run his race. And
Do you think he wants softer ground?
I'm not sure. I mean, yeah, he seemed to handle the heavy very well there, but I mean, we know at Cheltenham these days they never let it get too quick. I don't think it'll be well watered if it doesn't rain. So good to soft ground wouldn't particularly bother me for him. So he deserves one of these races. I think Walkon, I'd like to see him get his head in front. He's 12 to 1. I think that's a good each way price.
Brilliant. So that's Boston's Angel, Dayme and Walkon. Nick's 3 best of the rest. Colin and Graham, let's give us some winners.
Mary King runs in the National Hunt Chase. I hope so anyway, because that's what I've backed it for.
John Joe O'Neill.
John Joe O'Neill. Can't go wrong following John Joe O'Neill in the staying chases at Cheltenham Festival. Is an absolutely fantastic record in almost all of them, particularly in this race where he's won it 5 times. He's the most successful trainer of all time in the National Hunt Chase. And this is one of my favourite horses of the whole season. Followed it well, pretty much since its debut over fences. Won nicely second time out at Bangor in a handicap chase, absolutely bolted up, and then come out and won again next time, and then finished second behind Cannington Brook at Haydock. And this is the run that's really interesting because Cannington Brook is a bit of a machine at Haydock on heavy ground. And Mary King was coming in there, I thought would have been better suited by better ground, and a bit further as well. I think it was 2 miles, 6.5 that day, but stayed on really strongly, Mary King. And well, I mean, as they pass the line, you wouldn't believe that he hadn't have won. It was very, very close finish, and there's that dodgy angle at Haydock. The pair pulled absolutely miles clear of the rest.
Looks like a dour stay.
Sure to improve for a step up to 4 miles, and if you've ever seen a horse as well that is going to really be well suited by a strong gallop and a big field at Cheltenham, Mary King's going to be it. He travels well, he jumps brilliantly, he's the most uncomplicated ride you're ever going to see, which is obviously perfect for a race that is framed for amateur riders.
Very interesting. And there's another John Joe one you fancy in the Kinmure.
Yeah, Galaxy Rock. Another horse that is a big favourite of mine. I think he's going to run in the Kinmure. This race tends to be dominated by real dour stayers. If you look through the previous winners, although it's only over 3 miles, I think the fact that that it's an amateur rider race again and they go off a really strong gallop turns it into a test of stamina. I remember Bala Briggs winning it, and other really strong stayers winning it, and Galaxy Rock comes into that category. He's won, I think he won over 3 and mile 4.5 or something at the course a few years ago. Absolutely hacked up. And then he was running towards the end of last season on ground that wouldn't have suited, really soft ground. He's not a soft ground horse, and he wasn't being given a hard time in big races. And then he's come back first time out in October at Cheltenham and ran really, really well, finished second back on better ground, again showing his liking for the course. Disappointed last time out when pulled up, again on softer surface when you can completely ignore it. Another one that hasn't run for a long time, Mary King hasn't been seen out, and Galaxy Rock the same, but I think John Joe has been freshening these horses up, getting them spot on for Cheltenham, and he's another one that I'm keen to be on. Massive price as well, I think he's about 20s.
And on to the Friday, the Martin Pipe Conditionals Hurdle. You're looking for it to go away from the Pipe stable for Nicky Henderson.
Yeah, Henderson won this a few years ago, horse in grey colours and
Andy Town.
That's what it's called,
I
yeah.
remember that, yeah.
Absolutely bolted up, didn't it? And he's got Eric in there, who I quite like. A horse that had loads and loads of ability last year, and never quite put it together for one reason or the other, and seemed to lose his way and was getting beaten in races that he should have won at short prices. I remember seeing him being beat at Huntingdon. But he was travelling like a good horse, and he showed that he had plenty of ability. And then freshened up off the break this year, come back, won nicely. Disappointed next time out, but then won a jumpers bumper quite nicely a couple of starts ago, and then over hurdles last time, proving that he's really, really back to his best. And on his best form, he's really well weighted in this. He's going to need a few of them to come out because he's quite a way down the list, but he's due to be in at 11 stone 1, I think. And if there are a few non-runners, he's probably getting a nice racing weight, maybe about 11.4, 11.5. Decent conditional rider on, I would expect, someone like Jeremiah McGrath. And should go well again, Eric.
Well, absolutely excellent stuff then. So we've got a whole range of opinions there then. I'll throw my pennies worth. Well, I think Carlito Briganti off 137 could be absolutely chucked in the Pulteney handicap on day one, considering his hurdle rating was 153. Then American Trilogy won the county hurdle when he bolted up off only £1 higher in £1 lower, I should say, in 2009. He's got to have a great chance, and well, Cotton Mill, and I'll be a hypocrite if I didn't tip him for the county hurdle, considering I've backed him to win a champion. So yeah, Cotton Mill 10-1 to win the county. Well, gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure. I'm sure it'll soon be Christmas. We'll soon be doing it all again. But until next year, well, thanks very much for you watching every single week. It's been absolutely fantastic. Thanks for all your tweets, all your contributions. They've been wonderful. Have a great Cheltenham. See you all again soon.